Man, what a rivalry. And believe me when I say, these two still firing frequently while fearlessly and fervently fighting the familiar foe of father time on the front foot is far from a mere fortuitous affair. Simply put, they're the fucking best. But who was the best at each age throughout their careers? Let's take a look properly, since FIFA clearly won't. But before that, take note. Since Ronaldo's birthday falls in the middle of a season, we're going to go with the age he was for the majority of each given season. For example, though he ended the 14-15 season at 30, he was actually 29 for close to 70% of that campaign. So we go with 29. PS, international tournaments counts as the beginning of one season as opposed to the end of the one prior. Clear, good, on reroll. Age 17, Ronaldo. In his first, and to date, only season with the Sporting senior team, CR7 times 4 delivered 9 goal contributions, which is incidentally the same number of total appearances Messi made for Barcelona in 04-05. Case closed. Age 18, Ronaldo. While Messi was more efficient with his chances in 05-06, I had to just give the edge to 03-04 Ronnie, considering that he came to the Premier League as an underdeveloped teenager and was tasked to fill the shoes of David Beckham. The willful and wasteful but whimsical and wily wiry wing wizard turned in a pretty decent season, finishing with a goal against a bunch of UFC fighters in the FA Cup final. Cool. 19, Messi. This is the age where Lionel Messi truly took off, and while he would go on to have a number of better seasons, few would produce memorable moments in such volume. 20, Messi. While Ronaldo was the only one who managed to get his hands on a trophy at 20, lifting the FA Cup, ginger stepbrother with identity crisis, it was little Leo who shone more on an individual level. With Ronaldinho's exit from Barca imminent, La Pulga was slowly taking over as the main man, and truth be told, it was very obvious from the beginning that the guy was simply made for this. 21, Messi. Despite 06-07 being Ronaldo's best season as a pure midfielder, this really wasn't a tough decision, because at 21, not only did Messi win his first treble with Barcelona, but did so by having an insane individual season, bagging 60 goal contributions in 60 games for club and country on the way to picking up his first Ballon d'Or. Well done, you. And fuck you. 22, Ronaldo. This was actually another Ballon d'Or season for Messi as well, though it was questionable whether he deserved it, #justice for Snyder. But even if he did, there's only one clear winner here. Smashing George Best's 40-year record for most goals from a United midfield, Ronaldo propelled the Red Devils to both the Premier League and a historic third Champions League crown. Cue one iconic moment after another. 23, Messi. Unfortunately though, while still world class, Ronaldo's final season at United fell significantly short of his predecessor, and there is therefore little to no doubt that Lionel Messi at 23 was simply superior. The 10-11 campaign saw Leo securing his third consecutive Ballon d'Or by winning both La Liga and Champions League, both competitions in where he battered Ronaldo's Madrid on the way. Thanks for nothing. 24, Messi. In what was Ronaldo's first season at Madrid, he was deployed mainly as a who cares what he did, man, this motherfucker scored 82 goals and got 33 assists in only 69 games. Surely that's illegal. While this wasn't Messi's best overall season as a footballer, more on that later, he really gave a new meaning to the term prolific, not to mention becoming Barcelona's all-time top scorer at just 24. Jesus hates you. 25, Messi. Despite becoming the first ever man to score 40 La Liga goals in a single season, and doing so mainly from the wing in a Mourinho system, 25-year-old Ronaldo falls just short of 25-year-old Messi, who was probably just as good overall, but also has 100 La Liga points to show for it. 26, Ronaldo. Well, speaking of 100 La Liga points, guess who got there first? This was the season Mourinho truly got the better of Guardiola, and with a motivated CR7 at the peak of his powers, this super team just broke record after record like they were going out of date. In contrast, Messi actually had a relatively quiet season at 26. What's a quiet season for him? 64 goal contributions in 57 games. Yeah, we're not dealing with normal people here. 27. Messi. So after almost dragging the most average of Portugal teams to European glory virtually on his own, Ronaldo went on to have a very strong 12-13 campaign. But this inevitably did not matter, because 2014-15 saw the best version of Lionel Messi. Not only was he the most complete version of himself, but had he been at least 7 out of 10 in the air, he'd have very well been the most complete version of any footballer ever. But that title will unfortunately have to go to a certain someone else. More on that later. Wink wink. As for memorable moments from that season, lining up the entire City team like a firing squad and nutmegging them one by one, making Jerome Boateng audition for Spider-Man, scoring from here in the Copa del Rey final, and just being Messi. The best Messi. 28. Ronaldo. So you see everything I said about Messi just now? This was that season for Ronaldo. The 13-14 version of CR7 was the most complete version of a player we've ever seen. And believe me, I'm not just talking about goals and assists. His dribbling was possibly at an efficient peak, decision making at a career peak, and physicality at an all-time peak. And if he wasn't hampered with injuries from April onwards, Real would honestly have sleepwalked to the treble. As for Messi, well, he had a fairly decent 15-16, getting over 40 goals, on his way to securing a league and cup double. But of course, in this context, it really doesn't matter. It was never going to matter. 29. Ronaldo. From his best to his most prolific. This was the first season Ronaldo really began his transition into that ruthless, single-minded finisher he'd later become. And despite Messi securing his customary Copa del Rey while also putting up his usual crazy numbers, it's the man from Madeira who prevails once again. 30. Ronaldo. And again, because across the 15-16 season for Real Madrid, whether it was under Rafa or Zizou, this man remained consistently at the top of his game, leading Los Blancos to La Undécima and doing so by almost single-handedly dragging them through games like Wolfsburg home and Roma away. Iconic. 31. Ronaldo. Both men won the Ballon d'Or at 31, with Messi securing a league medal and scoring in the Copa del Rey final in his first season as club captain. On the flip side, after leading his national team to European glory in the summer, the 16-17 season saw Ronaldo being rested a lot more often as Zizou aimed to keep him fresh for the big games. And honestly, it's his performance in those big games that gives him the edge over Messi at 31. With Real becoming the first ever team to retain the Champions League, El Bicho put up the greatest knockout performance the competition has ever seen. Eres increíble. 32. Ronaldo. Though he still racked up statistics that over 99% of footballers can only dream of, 1920 was the first season where you truly began seeing the effects of aging on Messi. At 32 years old, it was clear he was starting to slow down. This guy, on the other hand, so after spending a season and a half primarily focusing on deciding matches, Ronaldo's last few months at Madrid saw his overall game go back up to scratch, with his all-round performances, particularly in the Champions League, helping Madrid secure the third of their unprecedented three-peat. Robbery this, sorry Luca. 33. Messi. Despite the state of Barcelona being in tatters by the 2021 season, the outside noise had very little impact on Messi, as the little genius finished his legendary career with the Catalans with another Copa del Rey while steamrolling to the Pichichi with little to no challenge. What a man. As for Ronaldo, though he did manage to get his hands on the national friendly championships, or whatever the fuck it's called, waste of time either way. Not to mention throwing Simeone out of the UCL. Again, his stats inevitably took a heavy dip in his first season at Juve. As a certain someone would later go on to discover, adjusting ain't easy. 34. Ronaldo. Adjusting ain't easy. Following the glory of finally getting his hands on the Copa America, Messi unfortunately heavily struggled to settle in his first season for PSG. And while he wasn't as bad as people on Twitter claim he was, his output in a relatively substandard league in a team full of superstars was just below par. For a human footballer. For him, it was shit. On the other hand, Ronaldo at age 34 was in his second season at Juventus, and well, he was truly settled now. Firing 31 times in Serie A, CR7 managed to bag himself another league title, on the way scoring in 11 consecutive games. At 34. Like, how? What? I gotta get out of here. And luckily for me, that today is the last age in where Messi completed a full season. So for now, there you have it. Rest assured though, once they both decide to hang it up, I'll come back and finish this off. But in the manner in which these guys are just relentlessly defying the limitations age would bring to us mere mortals, who honestly knows when that'll be. And that is that. Agree or disagree beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share, and of course subscribe. Till next time, you keep rolling.